Sorry, everyone, I'm muted. Um, Thank you guys all for joining us today as we go over when we introduce you to some of our hackathon participants from ETHDam. I'm Will, Ecosystem Growth Manager here at Oasis. Matei?
Hey, my name is Mateus. I'm a software engineer at the Oasis Protocol Foundation.
Yeah, and as I just mentioned, we're going to be talking about some of our great hackathon participants today. So I think the first one up is Black Sea. So, yeah.
Hey, Will, myself. How
Hey,
you guys doing?
How's it going? Hope you've been well since ETHDam. Maybe just quickly, just give us an update. What you've been up to?
Of course. Yeah, after ETHDam, I've been traveling a lot, so didn't have time to go deeper into like building the project more yet. But I've really like exploring like all the possibilities we could build using this Oasis stack, and I'm very excited about how we can actually build like new financial primitives with it, which is kind of the topic we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, sounds great. So maybe a great place to start is just what did you guys build for your hackathon?
Oh yeah, so basically there is a financial product in normal markets, in the traditional markets, which is called a dark pool. And what is a dark pool? A dark pool is a market in which no one can see the orders. So I can be trying to buy like 1,000 Apple stock, and no one knows I'm trying to buy 1,000 Apple stock. And the reason that's important is because whenever a big institution or a founder is trying to buy or sell stock, that moves the price in the market a lot, because the market says, oh, founder's selling. They don't believe in the company anymore. Let's dump the price. So they want to hide that from the market, and so they can actually like execute their positions without this risk. And such a thing doesn't exist in crypto yet. And basically tackle during a hackathon, we were tackling this problem. How do we bring this financial primitive on chain? And we can choose Oasis as a way to do it, because it sounds like the best way to like add these features with performance, which wasn't being possible at the time with pure ZK or FHE technologies.
Yeah, I'm glad that you found Oasis to meet like sort of the flexibility and composability needs in order to build your primitive. I guess maybe you can discuss some of the key challenges you faced during your development and how you overcame it.
Of course, yeah. So before anything, we didn't overcome all of them. Like it was a highly technical project for a 2-day hackathon. But the main thing for us was, so first one, we're testing out the Oasis like network as a whole. First thing we need a little time to understand the differences between like the core Oasis network, the Sapphire network, and how they all communicate together. So we kind of first had to draw out those diagrams and understand it. And after we did it, we really spent most of the time optimizing stuff. So like having an on-chain order book is extremely hard. Like people have tried to do it in a bunch of companies, and using pure EVM code, it's hard. So we basically used most of our time to actually try to optimize how to do those orders. Like we developed data structures and other sorts of like more low level things in Solidity to try to build it, and actually came up with a pretty neat solution that allowed us like create orders, search them across a tree, and have it all be private. So we could like cancel orders, add orders, fulfill orders, and no one would ever know like what you were trading inside of the pool.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved your project. Yeah, so I think we talked a lot about it while I was at ETHDam. You know, I think of dark pools as like a key part of like traditional finance that doesn't exist yet in Web3. So I was really excited to hear what you guys built, and I was excited to learn that you were, didn't run in. I mean, that you ran into challenges, but you had like overcame a lot of them. I guess my other question for you, in terms of like those challenges, you mentioned that you had to draw some diagrams in order to see how all the networks communicate to each other. What other feedback would you give regarding the documentation, the help you receive from the team, or just in general, like the sort of support that Oasis Network can offer? Like, what sort of feedback would you be able to give for us?
Okay, yeah. So my main feedback, and this goes a long way into a lot of different projects, is their documentation features you direct like more junior devs, and their documentation features you have to direct into like more senior devs. and I could see you had a bunch of coolest features inside of the protocol, like you can sign things using the TEs, you can do a lot of cryptography with them, and those things were poorly documented. Most of them I had to actually look into the code to figure out how they worked, and the examples that were provided were like very simple, so they didn't show how to build like nicer stuff. And so I would build like a documentation that goes like into how to do the basics, but it also like documents very thoroughly the special features that you guys have, because you're providing a bunch of different features that honestly I think are more important for developers that deeply understand like the EVM and the blockchain environment than for those that do not. So like showcasing those and like making it easy for them to access those like lower level features that are very powerful through the precompiles, understand how the security assumptions that you take by using them or not. I think that would be a powerful thing to do. Like I wish you had like deeper documentation on that. It would probably have sped up our work by a lot.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I appreciate that feedback. You know, I think this is part of the reason we wanted to go so big at ETHDam, was to get a lot of developers, get a lot of their feedback, and figure out where we can make our network better. So I appreciate you hacking on us, and you know, giving us that feedback so we can do better for next year. And I think Mateus, you had one question as well.
Go ahead.
Yes. Hey. One, I'd like to fill you in. You probably wanted to mention that your platform is decentralized, right? So we don't have a central authority, and it's very important for Blackpool for not a single authority to take you down. And also from the trust point of view, I suppose, I hope there is not a single entity on your side that has all the keys of all the funds or stuff like that. So maybe can you briefly just talk about your architecture and how did you design the contract, the data structures? What's the difference between other non-confidential solutions?
Of course. So basically, there are two problems we face when we're trying to build a dark pool. The first problem is how does everyone onboard their funds into the contract without leaving a trace that they did so? So how do I like bring my ETH there so that I can do an actual order to try to sell it? Because when I bring this over, people are going to be able to see it. So in order to overcome this challenge, we had to check the standards that Oasis had for private tokens. And in doing so, we figured that they had some events they emitted, especially that I don't remember the other project that we took the code from, but we forked some code from a different project that was doing DeFi in Oasis, and they had some events being emitted from their token contract. So we just built this like raw token implementation that doesn't emit any events and keeps all the information private inside of the TE environment in Oasis. Like whenever you would transfer your tokens to Oasis through any kind of bridge, it would become like totally dark and no one will be able to see if it went to our contract or to someone else's. So this is the first thing. Like, and this is totally decentralized. This relies on the assumption that Oasis is decentralized and that its encryption keys are controlled by the TEs and cannot be leaked. There are risks to that, obviously, but those assumptions, if those assumptions hold, like all those funds are private. Inside of the contract, we're using the same basic idea. So whenever I send a transaction there, I don't send it raw. I send it in an encrypted manner, so no one can see whether I'm trying to sell 1 ETH, if I'm trying to sell 1 million ETH, or if I'm just doing like a decoy transaction, which is basically like a transaction that doesn't do anything, but that you can send to increase the anonymity pool of the contract to make it look like we have more like volume than we actually do, or to make it look like people are withdrawing when they actually are not. So we're relying on encrypted transactions and encrypted state, and all of the decryption keys for those are held inside of the contract itself through the precompiles offered by Sapphire. So basically, those keys come from the TE itself, and they're generated inside of the runtime. And as long as you can trust the TE environment, you can trust those, which I think is a very good like trust assumption for this sort of product, because it's a product where you don't really need backwards privacy for like decades. You just need to have like enough backwards and forwards privacy for no one to mess with your trades and for the information about them not to affect the markets. So I think it's one of the best use cases for it. Like I think it's a very good trust model for it.
Yeah, absolutely, also. And I think we also had lots of very long conversations about like
Yeah.
different privacy assumptions for different use cases, and whether it needed long-term privacy or whether a trust assumption for a year, 6 months, these types of things made sense.
Exactly.
So maybe we can have you on another time. We can have deeper conversations. But thank you also.
Would love to.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us this brief overview of Black Sea, and hopefully we can talk again soon, and maybe get your product fully built on Oasis in the near future.
I'm excited for it.
Awesome.
And I talk to you, Will Mateus.
All right, have a great day, and we'll talk to you.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Okay, so that was Yasso from the Black Sea project. I think the next product that we have up is called 0x2FA. So, yes.
Hi, folks. How's it going?
Hi. How's it going?
Cool.
So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. I guess a great place to start would be regarding, just an overview of what you built at the ETHDam hackathon.
Yeah, sure. So I built a Google Authenticator version clone. Works similar to the way my name is Ahmed, by the way. Sorry, it's the 0x2FA there.
Oh,
but I built.
My bad. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you wanted to stay private or not. So I just, I'm always conscious of privacy in these things. So, but yeah, thank you for sharing.
No problem. So during the hackathon, I built a privacy-focused Google Authenticator. I have a demo I can show as well. So if you'd let me, I can start sharing my screen and I'll go over it.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you so much.
Cool. So I'm actually doing the scary thing of sharing my entire screen here. So hopefully nothing nothing gets exposed. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Sure. So so I'm a big Google Authenticator user, but the problem is I really hate the Google Authenticator experience, mainly because I don't want to share my personal and sensitive data with Google. So I built this solution not just for myself, but for anyone that values their privacy the way I do. So it works really similar to the way a normal Google Authenticator app would work. You would activate Google Authenticator on a dashboard or a settings menu, and then on your phone, you click on the scan the QR code, allow permissions, sure, scan the QR code, and actually this uses gasless transactions. So as you can see in the bottom there, it says domain has been added successfully. And a few minutes or a few seconds, we'll be able to see our Google Authenticator code, the 2OTP code that generates every 30 seconds. And maybe we can refresh the page here because, okay, we'll give it a few seconds. But after we have it added, we'll be able to verify our passcode, which is, cool. And the main thing behind this is there is no Google in the middle. There's just no Google in the middle. It's decentralized. It has privacy at heart. So yeah, I think there is something wrong here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I haven't tested this in a while, but usually you'd see your Google Authenticator position here, and it would cycle through your codes, your 6-digit codes every 30 seconds. And once you have the code, you can plug it into any website, and you'll be able to verify your passcode. That's it for my demo. I'm sorry it wasn't working as intended. Maybe I'll share my screen later if it starts working again.
Let me ask you a question. So why did you pick Oasis? I think the answer is pretty obvious, but fix me if I'm wrong. So you basically store the private seed to our chain, right?
Exactly. So actually, it's not possible on any other chain except for Oasis, because you need to you need to save the private key somewhere. And if you save it on Ethereum, then the state is visible for everybody. And the main problem is that person can create codes for not just the present, but future and consequential timestamps as well.
And what kind of authentication do you use to obtain the codes then?
So it uses a so for the demo, for the hackathon, I didn't have too much time to research the protocol and the exact exact methods, the standard method for generating the codes. However, like moving forward, I'll probably just be using the standard RFC 6238 that everybody uses. But yeah, it's currently it just works on a set pattern and uses that pattern to derive keys from it. And actually, it has worked here. So I'm going to share my screen again, just to, okay. Let's see. So yeah, here we have Binance here, and every 30 seconds, the little thing goes down. And if I plug in the code here, I want to pretend it's a withdrawal transaction or something and sign, we get the little green hue there. So there we go. We're verified. Works.
Okay, this is excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much. I guess, how would you rate your overall experience, one, working on Oasis, but also just at ETHDam in general?
Yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. I had a good and fun time. The team there was very interactive with me, or at least other hackers as well, with answering questions, helping you with ideas and suggestions on how to improve it, how to utilize Oasis, not just for one part, but other parts of your code as well.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And I guess one last question I have for you is, what are your, I guess maybe you could go into a bit about, what your plans were for your product initially, and then what are your plans now to continue your project and going in the future? Will you be participating in more hackathons? Will you be trying to build out the products?
Yeah. So I mentioned a bit earlier that it's a tool that I wouldn't personally like to use. So I already applied for the Oasis grant and waiting on approval from that. And I mean, regardless of what the outcome will be, I definitely want to build a tool like this just for myself. So ultimately, it's something I want to use, something I already use with Google. So it would be better to just cut out Google and do it myself.
I love it. I think you're working with a different BD at Oasis, but they've already brought it up and we've been discussing it. So hopefully we can get you onboarded and into the grant program soon. Additionally, we also have another hackathon coming up, I think, starting in July. So hopefully, if you have any other ideas outside of this product, maybe there's another product that you can hack on as well.
Cool. Yeah. What's the next hackathon that you guys are sponsoring?
So it's actually an offline hackathon. It's a bit different than ETHDam, which was, I think, 2 days. This one's, I think, 2 months. So it's an offline hackathon for 2 months. I think it's 2 months. That's at least what it was last year. I think it starts at ETHCC, and then it'll go into September. So it's a little bit different format. So it's entirely Oasis focused, and gives developers a bit more time to learn the ins and outs of the products of the network and things like that, which I know is, it's not easy to do in just a short 2 days to both learn, learn the product, learn Oasis network, learn the sort of nuances, and then, have maybe a day and a half to then hack an entirely new project.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your project with us. It was definitely one of the ones that we love the most at the hackathon. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon and we'll have some updates once you get into the grant program.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. Bye. I think the next project is BOT.
Hello there.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
So I hope I don't butcher your name. Is it Fyodor and Mirjan?
Merlin.
Merlin? Oh, okay.
Yeah. If it's okay, can I share my screen?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let me select the correct window. Okay. So I guess we'll start with our presentation. So my name is Mirlen, and together with my colleague Fyodor, we are here to introduce blockchain of things. There's a problem. It is notoriously difficult to access real-world data from the blockchain. So that is where blockchain of things comes in. We are creating an ecosystem that incentivizes community-driven oracles, therefore connecting real-world data with the blockchain. We are building a platform where users can easily connect their IoT devices, data sources, and data consumers to the blockchain. BOT will reward the IoT device deployers and therefore empower developers. My colleague Fyodor will now explain how.
Yeah, so you have a device smart contract, and each IoT device has a unique device smart contract. Those device smart contracts are created on the factory. Is actually responsible for creation, management of device smart contracts, and also to make them discoverable. We also have an anonymous rating system so that data consumers can actually evaluate if the data quality is good or bad, and this will help to prevent abuse and fraud on the system. From the developer perspective, it's extremely straightforward to get your IoT device on the Oasis blockchain. Just follow the guide on our website, and all the contract creation and configuration is happening through our DApp. We offer some snippets in different programming languages that you can put on the IoT device itself. So there is basically no knowledge or understanding of blockchain required. And once your device is connected and people subscribe, it generates revenue. So this is a flowchart that illustrates how it works. So on the bottom, you have the factory, which creates an instance of the device. Then the IoT device on the left is writing data to the device smart contract. This data is being read by the data consumer, the subscriber, and the subscriber pays some fees to be able to access this data. And the owner of the IoT device collects those fees and uses them to maintain the device, build more devices, and to obviously make some profit for himself. This is a proof of concept device that we have quickly built at the ETHDam hackathon. So it's just a Raspberry Pi with a temperature sensor, and it measures temperature and humidity. And on the right, you can see the transactions where it actually publishes this data on the Oasis blockchain. And now back to Mirlen with a quick demo.
I will now show some screenshots of the DApp that we built at the ETHDam hackathon. It was built in a short time and on some good sleep deprivation, so it's a bit bare bones, but it's okay. First of all, there's the home screen where you connect your MetaMask wallet. After connecting your MetaMask wallet, there's a screen with some information. As you can see, this is just placeholder info to have a demo. Then you can enter the Create Sensor tab, where you can register the sensor you built and give some information about it. In the future, this page will contain the code snippets that you can put inside of your Raspberry Pi or whatever IoT device that you are building. Here we see an overview of all the registered sensors. You can see some metadata, for example, what type of sensor, what type of data, the sensor is providing. You can also subscribe to the specific sensor. You can do this by sending a small fee, because you have to pay the fee in order to get access to the data. After subscribing, you can also up or downvote the sensor, as explained before. And we built a simple map view to give a little overview of where the sensors are and what information they are providing. Thank you for your attention. This was our presentation. And you can follow us on X if you want
to. Yeah, so thank you so much for participating in the hackathon and giving us this demo. I remember I was super excited and interested when I saw the Raspberry Pi. You guys walking around, taking, I guess, humidity sensors and all that at the hackathon. I thought it was super interesting that you guys sort of not only built the smart contract, but also had some hardware as well. I guess, what inspired you guys to participate in the ETHDam hackathon? Is it something you guys do every year? Was this your first time? Yeah.
So in general, I think my colleague Fyodor attends way more hackathons than I do. I do other hackathons, but this was my first time doing a blockchain-related one. I'm quite new to this, and he convinced me to come over, and I was instantly excited. Even not even a week after that we finished this hackathon, we both enrolled for the ETH Global in Brussels, which is happening in July, I think. So it's something we like to do, and Fyodor has some experience with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I was really also impressed with the sort of culture of hacking at ETHDam. I've been to a lot of, I guess, conferences now, but I've never seen such a large group of truly like passionate hackers. I think there was like 600 people at the conference, and 350 of them were hackers or something like that. So over half of them. It was pretty interesting. One of the questions that I had for you guys is, if there was one thing you could have changed about the experience, one thing you could have changed about maybe even like one of the decisions you made during the hackathon, or changed anything about, I guess, that whole weekend, what would it have been?
Yeah, I guess we should have prepared more, because I must be honest, the first 8 hours we spent brainstorming ideas and thinking what exactly are we going to build. And this could have been done before, So we wasted a lot of time on just walking around the building, in essence, and thinking about what we're gonna do. Yeah. And for the rest, it was a great experience. Yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. It was the documentation was also very clear.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone felt that preparedness, right? It's like you only have 48 hours, and there's, I don't know, maybe 5 different platforms to build on, a lot of things to learn, and yeah, it's a difficult first couple hours to sort of choose what you're going to do, and then you don't really get to go back, right? Because there's not enough time to switch it up halfway through. Mateusz, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I think you were the first team actually using Raspberry Pi and connecting it to the blockchain. So I was wondering, what kind of clients did you use on the Raspberry Pi side, and did you have any hardware issues regarding performance-wise? So did you use a TypeScript one, or yeah?
The first hardware issue was that we didn't have a Raspberry Pi with us, so we went out to buy one during the weekend. Fyodor,
so you didn't come into the weekend saying, "Oh, we think we're going to need a Raspberry Pi." You guys...
I had one laying around in my house, like the very small one, and I took that one with me because I thought it's a hackathon, why not? And then we noticed it's not going to work on this one, so we went out to buy like the bigger one.
It had no Wi-Fi connectivity, and so we couldn't really connect it to the blockchain. But I mean, the idea would be to build BOT on cheaper devices, because Raspberry Pi is pretty expensive, right? So like, actually we would want to build it on like ESP32 and stuff like that, like really low power, low level devices. Because I mean, they don't need to be so powerful. They just need to measure the sensor, and they need to be able to send an HTTP request, and that's kind of it, right? So you don't need all the beefiness of a Raspberry Pi.
Okay, interesting. I guess that's a good segue into like the last question I had for you guys, which is, what are your future plans? I know you mentioned that you have Brussels Hackathon. Do you plan on, doing anything else with blockchain things, or yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We are currently and actively working on creating and submitting our grant proposal to the Oasis team. And we hope we can get this grant, and this will enable us to really develop out the dApp, and we can start growing BOT, because we're both really excited about the project.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, I think the whole BD team is anxiously waiting for the grant proposal. We're excited to sort of break into the space. A lot of the grant proposals are DeFi gaming, But in fact, like Harry and some of our BD team have always been really interested in like the Oracle space, whether that's a blockchain of things Oracle, or whether that's the ability to send messages from HTTP requests in general. This is a space that I think Sapphire is really well suited for. That really hasn't been explored a lot. So yeah, we're excited to move forward with you guys in the future. Do you have any last thoughts that you want to share with the rest of the community who's watching?
Yeah, thanks for letting us present, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to build on this.
It was very nice, very fun.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some updates for the rest of the community soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And so, unfortunately, I have another call that I have to hop off on. Matej is going to be taking the lead from here, and I think he's going to take the lead with Oasis Guard. So goodbye, everybody, and enjoy learning more about Oasis Guard. Have a good one.
Yes, hello. Welcome the Oasis Guard team. Do we see each other?
Yep. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you? Yes, so you are Selim and Utku. Did I pronounce this correctly? Okay. Oh, we have another member. Hello, Eylul. Is this correct?
Hi. Yes.
Hello. It's awesome to see a female member among our developers. Awesome. My first question: Did you happen to prepare any demo for this session?
Yep, and I think like we will do the first presentation, and after that we will show our like demo products.
Yes, exactly.
So I can share my screen and I can do the presentation.
Go for it.
I guess. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Basically, Oasis Guard was like on-chain password manager, hardware level security with passkeys. And first thing first, the problem. Today we manage countless account details. I guess in my like Google account, I have more than like 300 passwords related to like different kinds of websites, even just in Web 2. And on the Web 3 side, we have like a lot of private keys, seed phrases, and other stuff. And typically, we rely on centralized platforms like traditional password managers, and we can solve this with Oasis, and that's where Oasis Guard steps in. And the long description, like definition related to Oasis Guard is a browser extension, and because with that you can easily reach your like passwords, seed phrases, whatever, and that secures your passwords in a confidential smart contract. And I think that was the idea came into our minds, like because we have a confidential stuff, like we can like store all our confidential stuff in it, and we use Sapphire's confidential EVM, and we accessed exclusively via our passkeys, authenticated through R1 curve signatures on Oasis. And after that, actually, we can show the demo. I think it is like more funnier compared to product, and Utku will show our demo.
All right. Hi there. So I can share my screen. Just a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our landing page, and it is ourScard.xyz, and you can download the ourScard testing product here, and download it, and come to the extension site first, and it's unzip it. Okay, unzip it. Then I can upload it from here. I'll start this here. Let me pin. I'll start. Thank you. Start. So firstly, start
Sorry, Utku, you are. Yeah. Can you say that again?
Yeah, OSIScard asks 2 questions: sign up with passkeys or sign in with passkeys. So first, I will install it. Right now, I'm signing up with my Touch
Right
ID.
now, we can't see the widget. We are just seeing the landing page.
Oh, okay.
You need to share the whole screen.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry. Let me
So maybe just to fill you in, that our community is watching us live, and what the Oasis Guard did is the extension for the browser. So it's not just a simple dApp running inside one website, but it's actually an extension for the Chrome. Correct me if I'm wrong. Any Chromium-based browser, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's any Chromium based. So I downloaded it and I unzipped it, and I will add to my Chrome browser, Chromium browser. Then this is the OSIScard. So it is, you can see, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. OSIScard asks sign up or sign in with the passkeys. I just installed it, so I will sign up with my Touch ID. So waiting for the confirmation on the Sapphire blockchain. So we built an R1 signature verifier on chain, and we are pressing the data to the blockchain and verified it. You can see I sign up, and this is the OSIScard. It say get started or import with file. You can export the passwords on your regular password managers like Chromium based or any based web browser or OnePass or something like that. You can export the file as password extension and import to the OSIScard, or you can just import something with manual. Like I will add my MetaMask account, so I will generate a secure password from here. You can generate a secure password to the signing up for a website or for in real life. So it's say and giving my Touch ID again. This is okay, and confirmation smart contract. I'm waiting for the confirmation. So
I always love live demos,
Yes, right. So this is the MetaMask. You can see you can copy, you can share, you can delete it from here, or just click the icon and give the Touch ID again. You can just see my private key. If it is revealed, you can copy just right away, or you unrevealed it and want to copy, give the Touch ID again. For those like on and on and on, you can add many things if you want. Like you can add Google, you can add Ethereum, something like that. So I will add my private key to the OSIScard again. So basically, this is the OSIScard. We are an on-chain password manager, secure with the passkeys, web ultimate passkeys, and within a confidential smart contract. So I'll add this to my OSIScard. You can see the Ethereum is added too. You can unreveal it if you want it. So I guess that's all the demo. Thanks for watching.
Okay, looks awesome. So I think our audience is now thinking about you are using the blockchain, right? Okay,
Yep.
so my question, or I think the audience also questions, where do you pay for the gas fees? There were no, MetaMask transactions flowing anywhere around. So how did you solve that?
Actually, we wrote a paymaster to pay all the fees. So OSIScard right now, at least for this product. But of course, if you want to scale in a large scale, we need to I don't know, figure out a different way, maybe. Or maybe we need to just membership price. After that, also we can still pay all the fees.
But even if you want to pay the fees, it is just really small numbers. So like it is way more cheaper than the regular password managers.
Yes, makes sense. Yes, makes sense. Also, in the future, perhaps if you wanted to monetize the product, this would be something that could be covered by the fees, right? Okay, Eylul, do you have anything to add?
And I am the designer, by the way.
Oh, your design is awesome. Yeah, probably the most inspiring one amongst the projects. Yeah. So
Thank you.
Now the more general question for the Oasis Guard team: what did you make to decide to use Oasis platform? Did you consider any other platforms, maybe, or or was it the ETHDam the sole reason why you attended the hackathon and write this project, or was this something done earlier in your brains and you just finalized it on the hackathon?
I guess like on the ETHDam, we search for every project and we look for like how we can come up with a like great idea. After we saw like Sapphire's confidential EVM contract, we saw we need to use that. So actually, it wasn't our first idea. Will already gone, but we discussed a lot of ideas with Will, and also he gave us some inspiration. After that, actually, we come up with this like we can maybe like integrate passkeys and we can use all the confidential environments. So it was all fun actually because it was kind of like puzzle to like solve it in the hackathon for us.
Did you encounter any rough edges using our platform documentation example? So I know we don't have an example on how to build your own extension using Oasis. Yeah. Now we do. We added you to our playground repositories. Can you speak about any rough edges, maybe?
I think all the documentation. Yeah, we could go for it.
Yeah. I wrote the contract and I get a lot of help from the confidential smart contract site. So it was great actually. I didn't have any trouble. So that was quite nice. Even if signer methods for the paymaster, it is quite actually good. I get a lot of help from the documentation.
I think hardest part was the like integrating the R1 signatures because it was really important. It was a core thing for the R app. But after a bit time, we look up for the different projects on the GitHub. After that, we figured out how to like integrate it, and yeah, all thing was smooth, I guess.
Okay, and any future plans?
Actually, like we attended team as a like from IT blockchain, and we are looking for like contribute more on the ecosystem. And we really like security idea. Actually, right now we will be on the ETH Berlin Utku. Will attend the ETH Berlin hackathon, and I think with the, like our Oasis guards, we can like integrate more and more things. For example, the easiest idea on that site, like I think pass. What was the name? Utku, the idea, I forgot the name. Like, let me check. Authenticator, of course. Okay. Authenticator, yeah. But after that, we can integrate many security modules inside the Oasis Guard, and it is all on chain. So I think it's the best use case.
Yeah, I think we need to add modular security systems to the project, but we don't have real time to integrate them. Like if you unreveal the MetaMask private key, you will need to give the 2FA authenticate method, then passkey, then something email, some SMS or something like that. But in the future plans, of course, I can add modular systems that user can activate or deactivate them. So it was great.
And if you went back and change the way you did in that 48 hours of the ETHDam hackathon, what would you change? Any suggestions?
I think overall experience was really nice, and we didn't have much any problem. But the thing is, like all the preliminary research is always important. I think we should know more about like Oasis in general in the environment, and we should do more research on like other products, because it always helps while you are building it. But we did it on the hackathon, so yeah, it was nice.
I mean, this is great. This is why the hackathons are there, you know, to get familiar with an unknown technology, and you're just thrown into the big lake and you try to swim and reach the other side of the lake in time, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we really appreciate your work, and I'm looking forward to installing the production-ready extension myself as well.
Yep.
Good work there. Any closing thoughts you might want to add?
I think thank you for having us, and it was all great opportunity, and it was an all great time. ETHDam and here.
Utku?
I agree with you, Seven. Thanks for everything. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to showing our product to you, our ecosystem, and to you. Thanks for everything.
Okay, Eylül?
And I think you have a great team, really. We really enjoyed with your team after the hackathon.
Yeah, I will love that. So yeah, your team is great actually. Yeah, we told much of your team members during the hackathons, and it's all great, and they all love the people. We love it after the hackathons and during the hackathons actually.
I totally agree. Yeah. Right. Okay. So thank you guys. And I think this concludes our session today. So we had four winning teams of the ETHDam hackathon that was in April 12th and 14th. So I'd really like to express my gratitude to all the hackathoners, also the ones that didn't manage to finish the projects in time. And I think the hackathons are a really important, exciting mixtures of, you need to be both talented, you need to be creative, and on the other hand, you need to have this technical skill, cool nerves, to finish your projects in time, maybe some skills, some past experiences. And when it then combines together inside your team into a great product, I think this is why we do stuff we do, right? Okay, so I'd like to thank the audience today as well. And until next time, until the hackathon that is happening in July, we stay in touch. Bye all.